Hello and welcome to the second semi-final of Only Connect. If you've been watching closely, you'll know that the terrifying crossworders are already through to the final, but who will meet them there? Will it be the bankers or the lapsed psychologists? It'll all come down to who wants it more. Not really, that's just motivational hogwash. It'll come down to who's better at the quiz, which involves finding the hidden links between apparently unconnected clues. For the semi-finals, everything gets horribly difficult. Let's see who's eager to get their teeth stuck into that, starting with the captain of the bankers.
I'm David, I live in Leicestershire and I work for a bank. This is Rosemary.
I'm Rosemary, I work for the same bank in rural Leicestershire where I give technical support to the mortgage systems.
And this is Michael.
Michael Jack, business analyst for a bank based in Leicestershire.
Now, your quarter-final was a real nail-biter, came down to a tie-break. Did you all need a stiff drink and a lie-down after that, or do you love the pressure?
I'm still lying down, metaphorically.
Well, it's time to get up and get stuck into the semi-final. Let's meet the captain of your opposing team, the lapsed psychologists.
I'm Jack Whaley-Cohen. I used to work for a bank, but now I run a translation company. This is Matthew.
I'm Matthew, I'm a corporate events manager and I live in South London.
And this is Richard.
My name's Richard McDougall. I'm an investment manager from Chiswick in West London.
Now, did you get far enough down the line with psychology to know good ways of dealing with stress? Is it just Valium?
It's not Valium, there are sophisticated techniques. I think we got just about far enough.
Let's see whether you manage to remain calm this evening as we enter the semi-final. Round one is where I simply ask the contestants to tell me the connection between 4 clues. Although the fewer clues they need to see to tell me the correct answer, the more points they get. 5, 3, 2 and 1, those are the points available. The bankers won the toss, so please select a Greek letter.
Delta, please.
Delta, your first clue is about to be revealed. Time starts now.
Sugar replacement.
Could be. Next.
Next, please.
Yes. All right. Oh, all things that came out of the space programme. Teflon came out of that.
Could have done.
I'm not sure.
Next.
Yeah.
Next, please. They're all generic names for other products.
No, Viagra's the trade names. And
It says Teflon.
They're all trade names. Yeah.
5 seconds.
They're all trade names.
If you had seen the 4th clue, you would have seen it is not a trade name. So I am going to show that 4th clue to the lapsed psychologists for a possible bonus point.
Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah.
OK, we've got an idea. We think it's things that were invented by mistake or that are now being used for a very different purpose to their original sort of...
I'll accept it. They were discovered by mistake by chemists who were looking for other things at the time. Pfizer were looking for an angina treatment. They found Viagra.
Teflon was in the space programme or something, or is that an urban myth?
Yes, well, they were trying to develop a new CFC when they found Teflon. Alexander Fleming, of course, found penicillin growing on a Petri dish. Mm-hmm. And with saccharin, Konstantin Fahlberg found it had fallen into his food when he was working on some scientific experiments. So, bonus point to the lab psychologists, and it's your turn to choose a letter.
Right, Epsilon, please.
Epsilon, first clue coming up. I can tell you this is going to be a music question. Time starts now.
Don't know what song it is. Go next. Go next.
Next.
Whatever happened to our love?
Do you know what song it is?
I think it's SOS, but I don't
OK,
Yes,
next.
it was SOS.
I started to write this song about you.
Next.
Our little boy.
That's DIVORCE, it's divorce.
Okay,
so I think it's
initials.
SOS.
Songs with initial letters.
Yeah, we think it's songs that have their title being initials or sort of acronyms or something like that. Initial letters, basically.
What songs do you think you heard?
Well, we've got SOS and DIVORCE are the ones that we're sure about.
You also heard TROUBLE by Elvis Presley and LOVE, Al Green. Songs whose titles are spelt out. Very good. You get the points there, and we're over to the bankers to pick a letter.
Beta, please.
Beta, first clue coming up. Time starts now.
Horse race.
Next, please.
Things that happened in August.
think it's happening in August. It seems a bit...
Then it's happening in August. Right. That's May. Next.
Do you want to go for it?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go for it. Yeah.
August.
That is not the answer I'm looking for, so I'm going to show the next two clues to the lap psychologists.
Okay, well, we're going to go for November, things that happen in November.
Unlucky for you there, bankers. You guessed the clue is to do with which month they happen in, but they are all things that happen in November. Psychologists. pick a
We'll
letter.
go for Zeta, please.
Zeta. First clue coming up. Time starts now.
Griffin.
Gryffindor.
Gryffindor.
Okay, next, please. So who's that? Any ideas?
Doesn't mean anything to you. Keep going.
No, next, please.
Oh, who's Sarah Woodruff? I recognise that name. Griffin.
No. Oh, next. Sarah. These are all... Well,
Something to do with rings? Something to do with... Well, Griffin's eagle and lion.
10 seconds.
you know what's Sarah on the bed?
Sounds
I bet
like
I'd better known by other names.
Sounds like...
What's Sarah's other names?
5 seconds.
Sarah Woodruff, the transplant vehicle, so things have been transplanted and sort of stuff.
They're all things that have sort of had something transplanted into them or been involved in
Made up
transplants.
of different things.
That's an ingenious guess, but not the correct answer. So I'm going to pass it over to the bankers for a possible bonus.
Something to do with fire.
They're all created by fire.
Also, beautiful lateral thinking, but in a direction away from the correct answer, which is that they are all characters described by the titles of books. Griffin is the Invisible Man, Edmond Dantes is the Count of Monte Cristo, Sarah Woodruff is the French Lieutenant's Woman, and Sauron, as you knew, is the Lord of the Rings. So no points there.
Eponymous.
Bankers, pick a letter.
Alpha, please.
Alpha, first clue coming up. I can tell you this is going to be a picture round. Time starts now.
Yeah. Next.
Next, please.
The disguise.
Next, please.
Fireplace. Great.
Something lateral that you precede.
Yeah.
Fire stand.
Fire stand.
Should we go through the next?
Yeah.
Next, please.
10 seconds.
Window. Picture. Fire.
5 seconds.
Oh, there it is.
You're clearly stumped. Let me throw it over to the psychologists.
Yeah, that's right.
Bit of a punt. Think it's to do with computer operating systems.
Why would it be to do with computer operating
Well, there's
systems?
the windows at the end is what sort of gave the idea.
Brave, but that's nothing to do with the answer, which is that beards, hats, hearths and windows are all things that used to be taxed. They used to be taxed. That was the connection. So, final question of a very difficult round. Psychologists, what's it going to be?
Gamma.
Yes, it is. Time starts now.
Okay, we better look at the next one. Yeah, next. Well, it used to be the Olympics, but that's things are mentioned. Next.
50s. Any things that prizes were given for Highland Games or something? That's a good architecture, isn't it? Next one.
Next. Just can't quite work out what's going ahead.
Architecture.
10 seconds.
It could be. I don't know why architecture would be, but
Ancient
used to be
Olympic Games. Ancient Olympic Games.
There used to be
3
Olympics.
seconds.
Just used to be Olympic Games.
I'm going to go for sports that used to be in the Olympic Games.
For once, your punt in the dark is absolutely correct. They are former Olympic disciplines. Yes, even architecture. So, at the end of a very difficult round one, the bankers have got no points and the psychologists have got 4 points. On to round two, which isn't going to be easy either. In this case, I only give the contestants a maximum of 3 clues because the question is, what's fourth in the sequence? Clues will be revealed one by one. The sooner the contestants can give me the right answer, the more points they get. 5, 3 and 2 points available. What is next in the sequence? Bankers, please pick a letter.
Epsilon, please.
Epsilon, the first of 4 clues is coming up. What would come fourth in this sequence? Your time starts now.
Pardon?
Any ideas?
No.
None at all. Next, please.
These are the 4 weddings and a funeral. So the last one is the one that didn't take place, which was between Charles and Duckface. Can't remember her name. Yeah, yes.
Charles and Duckface.
You hated having to say that, didn't you?
I did.
But you shouldn't, because it is the correct answer, and after just 2 clues, you get 3 full points. Rosemary, I think you were the one who knew why that is.
Yes, they're the 4 weddings and a funeral, even though one didn't happen.
That's absolutely right. 2 points for the right answer. At last,
Yes.
you're off the starting blocks. Psychologists, pick a letter.
Gamma, please.
Gamma, first in the sequence coming up. What's fourth? Time starts now.
Okay, next.
Gold. Is there anything sporting, right?
Anything sporting,
Archery
right?
balls or...
Can't be archery.
It's not jerseys in the Tour de France, is it?
But they're not in a specific order, particularly.
Yellow.
No, but the green's last. Anyway, go for
Next. Gold, platinum. I mean, but the green's not an anniversary of any sort, is it?
No. Green, gold, platinum.
Green, gold,
10 seconds.
Discs, do you get a
yes. So what is it? What
5 seconds.
something?
Palladium?
Yeah, go for that.
Palladium.
Why would it be palladium?
We think it's colours of discs awarded for high numbers of sales.
I'm afraid it isn't. So I'm going to throw it over to the bankers for a possible extra point.
A bit off the wall. I think they might be cards given to blood donors at certain stages of however many donations they give. So 0 to 49 is silver, and then I think it goes to green, and then I'm not sure after that.
That's a lovely idea. It's not the right answer, and I'm surprised, bankers, that you didn't get this. Fourth in the sequence is black, because these are American Express cards in increasing order of prestige. If, that is, you equate prestige with having an enormous amount of money, which I don't necessarily, but then I don't run a large credit card firm. But it's now a chance to pick your own question.
Zeta, please.
Zeta, first in the sequence coming up. What's fourth? Time starts now.
Battle of Hastings.
And all that.
Yeah, next.
Next, please.
Well, it was the start of the Civil War, I think. 1485 was the end of the Civil War.
Yeah, I think King was going... actually, English King was going, wasn't it? Next, please.
1553, that was the start of Mary. It's William I, somebody the First, Mary the First. So the next one would be Charles
10 seconds.
A number, a date.
James I, 1603.
1603, please.
That is not the answer I'm looking for. So I shall throw it over.
1936.
Why would it be 1936?
Years in which there have been 3 monarchs.
That is absolutely correct. Do you know who the 3 monarchs were in 1936?
It would have been George V, Edward VIII and George VI.
Very good. I won't ask you the really difficult ones or we'd be here all night. But a bonus point to you, and you can now select your own question.
I think it's time for Delta, please.
Time for Delta. First in the sequence coming up. I can tell you this is going to be a picture round. What do you expect to see in the fourth picture? Time starts now.
What's that?
It's kind of fly or blue fly.
Blue fly. Next.
Bottle. Chicken.
Red rooster.
Oh, is it? It's not Chinese yet, is it? No, there's no fly.
Next, please.
Feather.
So we've got a blue bottle, a red rooster, a white feather.
Feather.
Blue
I
rooster.
can't see any particular theme
Or
there,
some kind of
except for
fly,
colours.
hen,
Things that fly.
hen, feather.
Featherweight, flyweight.
10 seconds.
Bantamweight, featherweight. I don't know what comes next.
Feather.
Lightweight.
Strawweight.
Yeah,
Strawweight.
5 seconds.
Straw.
Not what I'm looking for. Over to the bankers for a bonus.
Middleweight.
Not correct either. I know you're both thinking about the correct connection, but what you'd expect to see in the last picture is some light. Because Olympic boxing weights in order would be followed by lightweight. That would be the category. Bankers, please pick a letter.
Beta, please.
Beta, first in the sequence coming up. What's fourth? Time starts now.
Next, please. Nuts. Ocean. Races. Next, please.
Probably somebody starting with a D.
What would it be then?
Is it going?
Venezuela.
Is it going across the equator or something like that?
No, it's going north, isn't it? Because you've got Brazil, then Colombia, then
Is it
Bolivia.
Ecuador?
10 seconds.
Ecuador or Venezuela?
5 seconds.
Ecuador.
Why do you say Ecuador?
We think we're going around South America anti-clockwise.
Interesting. I'm going to give you the points for saying Ecuador because it's the right answer. But Rosemary in the corner over there was onto the right thing early on. It is the path of the equator going west. But since you gave me the right answer, never mind the reasoning. The points are yours. Over to the lap psychologists.
Alpha.
Alpha it is. Time starts now.
No, I mean nothing. Next. SBD, something.
No, I assume it's days and...
Okay, next, please.
It's March the...
Sometime in March, yeah.
So what's the next day? What's the next day?
Is it Mardi Gras or Shrove Tuesday or something
why would it
like
be
that?
that?
It's that in March. No,
Actually, it's not Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
I don't know when Mother's Day.
But why would it be those ones, though?
10
They're
seconds.
just consecutive days,
Okay.
possibly. I don't know if that's when...
Then
when
Mother's
next
Day changes, though.
5 seconds.
Valentine's Day? No, it's Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day is not the correct answer. Possible bonus for you, bankers.
Or Fool's Day?
Why would it be All Fool's Day?
I think it's the 1st of January, the 1st of February, the 1st of March and the 1st of April.
You are absolutely correct. April Fool's Day happens on the 1st of April. I would also have accepted the Feast of St. Hugh of Grenoble, but I didn't expect you to say that. So, at the end of round 2, looking at the scores, the psychologists have got 5 points, but the bankers have overtaken them with 6 points. In round 3, the teams face the connecting wall. 16 clues that can and must be divided into 4 groups of 4 connected clues. It's a 4x4, huge, evil and belching petrol. But you've done it a couple of times before, so you can't be scared now. You're going to have 2.5 minutes to divide this grid into 4 sets of matching clues. Please choose wall alpha or beta.
Alpha, please.
Alpha wall, time starts now.
Okay.
Okay, this could be something to do with Japan, with sushi, or...
Stroke clocks
rowing.
are rowing things.
Straight cocks. Engine room.
Could be rowing.
Bowman as well.
Yeah.
Should we have a go at
Bowman.
Bowman, yeah.
Annie Mac, Annie Nightingale are Radio 1 DJs. So was Zoe Ball.
As is Cox.
As
Sarah
is
Cox,
Sarah
a DJ as well.
Cox, yeah.
And then what else have we got?
As is...
Where does piano fit in as well? Piano, how could that fit in? Words for quiet? No.
Cross. I don't understand where sushi goes at all.
No. Should we have a go?
Should we go for the Radio 1?
What does sushi mean in Japanese?
We'll go for Radio 1.
Yeah, Radio 1.
So we go Cox, Mac,
Ball,
and Nightingale. There's Edith Bowman as well, of course.
Go for that as well.
Bowman.
Cox, Mac, Ball.
Not a group.
Which other one do we think?
Nightingale. Maybe Scott, but I don't think so.
Just try those 2 combinations. What about having a go at the rowing?
Well, let's go with the rowing.
Rank?
Stroke, Cox, Bowman. Yeah, go for that. Yeah, okay.
That's
Okay.
So we could try this.
So
That could be, but let's see what that leaves us with, because I don't remember any leaves us with two guesses.
Piano Handel Wren, Christopher Wren, architecture.
Christopher Cross.
Barry designed. There was an architect called Barry, I think.
Oh yes, there was. Yes, Barry.
Barry
Wren.
Long Crow Wren. Then, but I don't know what Handel.
Should we have a go on
Sushi
Mac?
do.
If that's not right, anyway. The Scott, Gilbert Scott is an architect as well.
Okay,
try that then.
Scott, Barry, Wren.
And
I don't know who your other Nightingale would be. Your other architect, Nightingale, Ball, Crow.
Try Crow. Long? No.
For right here.
Okay. What's Mac going to be? Big something?
Big Mac, big.
No.
Okay. Are we?
Just press something, anything.
Yes, Canada, yes.
That's a group. 2 groups left, 3
Great press
strikes
separate.
and you're out.
Ball Nightingale.
There's not much
Long
time
Ball
left.
Nightingale for Radio 1 DJs.
That's it. You've solved the wall.
Okay.
So you get the full 4 points for identifying each group. Bonus points available now for the groups. Stroke, Engine Room, Cox and Bowman or Bowman, as you corrected your captain. What are you submitting?
So we're
as the
submitting rowing
collections?
here.
They are crew members of a rowing 8-1 point. Next group, Wren, Piano or Piano, Barry and Scott.
They're architects.
They are architects. Next group, Long, Mac, Ball, Nightingale.
Radio 1 DJs, Annie Nightingale, Annie Mac, Zoe Ball,
Somebody long.
yeah.
Janice Long.
Janice Long
How
as well.
quickly they forget.
Sorry.
You got it. Okay.
And the bottom one is words that go with bar, crossbar, sushi bar, handlebar, crowbar.
Absolutely right. Fantastic stuff. 4 points for identifying the groups, 4 points for the connections, and a bonus 2 points for getting it all correct. That is a maximum of 10 points. That is setting the sushi crow handle bar high for the next team. Let's bring in the bankers to see what they can do with the connecting wall. You're going to get 16 fresh clues that can still be divided, of course, into 4 groups of 4. Beware the red herrings. You've got 2.5 minutes to do it. The beta wall is coming your way. Time starts now.
Okay.
Cheese. Silver Craft. Cheese. Grand Canyon.
Oh, Blackberry, Rabbit, do they go together?
Are they, talking about rabbits, are they names of characters in Watership Down? Hazel, Bluebell, Silver and Lavender?
Try it.
Not a group.
Blackberry.
Music. Blackberry, Silver, Bluebell, Hazel. No.
Okay. Grand Canyon.
It's not Cluedo. Bluegrass, music. Banjo.
Craft.
Mudworms. Keystone.
Yeah. Keystone Cops Films.
Keystone Architecture.
Doctor Films, Keystone Films. Can you see any more?
No.
Or Rabbit Novels. Can you think of anything else that's a sequence of things?
I still
You're
think
about halfway through the time.
Silver and Hazel and I still think they were Silver and Hazel. What other Bluebell, Watercress.
Okay, Silver Hazel, Blackberry and Lavender. On your rabbits. No, let's give up on that.
Okay. Grand Canyon. Things in America. Makes of car. Isn't there a Grand Canyon?
Yeah.
Types of
Things you can eat. Bluebell Woods, Hazel Woods,
Silverwoods.
Doctor. Films of some sort. Carry On.
Could be time to
Doctor.
just press anything.
Yeah.
Bluebell, Hazel, Silver, one other rabbit.
Have we had Blackberry?
Yeah.
Yes, I think we have. Craft, Keystone.
Just a few seconds left.
We haven't got it.
No, we're not gonna get this.
The time is up. No groups found, but that's happened before by teams who have gone on to win the quiz in that particular episode. Let's resolve the wall. Now it's been done, perhaps the connections will spring into your mind for bonus points. So the first group, Lavender, Wensleydale, Watercress, Bluebell.
I'd like to say stamps again, but I don't think that would be a...
It's not preserved railways or there's Bluebell Line.
I have to hurry you for an answer.
Railways, try that. Steam railways.
They are heritage railway lines. Looking at the next group, Dr. Hazel Hunt Craft.
Thought knife.
Knife, yeah.
Can't give you too long.
No.
They can all be preceded by the word witch. Witch doctor, witch hazel, witch hunt, witchcraft. Next group, Mud, Blackberry, Rabbit, Eskimo.
Are all pies.
They are all pies for another bonus point. And the last group, Grand Canyon, Keystone, Bluegrass, Silver.
Places in Colorado.
I'm afraid not. They are official nicknames of American states: the Grand Canyon State, Arizona, Keystone, Pennsylvania, the Bluegrass State of Kentucky, and silver is Nevada. So no points for the groups, but you did collect 2 much-needed bonus points for the connections. Let's see how that leaves the overall scores at the end of round 3. The bankers have got 8 points, but the lapsed psychologists have soared to 15 points. It's not over yet, though, because in round 4 there are dozens of points that can fly back and forth. It's the missing vowels round. We take groups of well-known names or phrases. I tell the teams the theme in advance, but I've removed the vowels. The consonants have been respaced, and the teams have to tell me what those hidden names and phrases are. Each time you buzz in and tell me a correct answer, I'll give you a point. Buzz in with a wrong answer, I'll deduct a point and throw it to the other team for a bonus. I can tell you that the first group are all going to be impressionist painters. Let's go. Psychologists.
Edouard Manet.
Edouard Manet, 1 point. Too long, it's Eugène Boudin. Next clue. Psychologists.
Pierre-Auguste Renoir.
Yes, it is, 1 point. Too long, it's Theodore Robinson. Next category, space exploration terms. Don't know, it's aphelion. Next clue. Nobody here been to space? This one's electric propulsion. Next clue. Inertial guidance. Next. Bankers.
Coriolis effect.
Yes, it is. 1 point. Easier category now. Medieval church architecture. Psychologists.
Rood screen.
1 point. It's triforium. Next clue. Bankers.
Reredos.
1 point. Bankers.
Mr. Cord.
I have to deduct a point. Psychologists.
Misericord.
1 point to you. Oh, but the time is up. And after a horrible missing vowels round, I can tell you that the bankers have got 9 points, but the winners with 19 points are the lapsed psychologists. So many congratulations to the psychologists, heartfelt commiserations to the bankers, and the stage is set for the final showdown. The lapsed psychologists will meet the crossworders in the ultimate contest to decide once and for all who will lift the Only Connect trophy and enter the glorious pantheon of... you know how it goes. Don't forget to tune in next time for the final. Goodbye.
And that final will be right here on Monday at 8:30. Next tonight, a bit of Yuletide nostalgia for you with The Cult of Survivors.